and that's why I've favored Stalkers this game in part, just so that I have a good defense against the air harassment that I almost knew was going to happen. And we can see my Rojon here continuing to build Banshees. Here comes another one, I believe. No? Okay, well, not sure. I thought there was another Banshee being built here. In any case, these two are going to fly down here. Going to see my second expansion going up just as I put it down. He's going to cloak, and he's going to start hitting that expansion. I don't have an observer in the area. Banshees, as you may be aware, in the last patch were changed so that cloak could be researched immediately. You no longer have to wait to get the fusion core, which is sort of the highest end tech building for Terran. You can now research cloak immediately once you have a tech lab, and my opponent has taken advantage of this to get cloak on his Banshees. So he manages to eliminate my third expansion just as it was going down. And so now we are basically 2 expansions to 2, though I have a lot better probe saturation overall. We can see here I'm at 41 harvesters to my opponent's 28. I did run this hapless probe down here, thinking I might put up an expansion there, but Rojon did send his 2 Banshees down to find that. It was a good guess on his part, and he took out my probe. So my hopes of getting another expansion up are gone, but I have massed quite a number of Stalkers here, and I am getting a forge now, so I can put down photon cannons in hopes of having some defense against these Stalkers, and I have managed to take a probe off my gas by accident at some point. Oh well. And here we go, the real counter to Banshees is Phoenix. So now I have a Phoenix in play. I'm probably building more, yes I am, and I'm also just queued my first mothership, so there it is. I'm getting a mothership. It has been nerfed several times lately, but I am building one just the same. And I have this Phoenix scouting around the map looking for some stray Banshees, but not finding them. These Banshees are in fact going to hit my natural expansion. And here we go. Starting to take out probes. I'm going to send the Stalkers over, but no sooner do I get there than he hits the cloak. My Stalkers cannot target the Banshees right now. I don't have detection. The nearest observer is over here at my rally point, and I'm now forced to send it over there oh so slowly. My Stalkers are just going to sit there haplessly. I lost quite a number of probes. Let's check that actually. Yeah, I'm down to 29 harvesters. Ouch. And now the observer comes in, but the Banshees have already fled the scene. So that's good harassment by my opponent. Sloppy for me for not having a photon cannon in that drone line, or an observer. And now the Phoenix and the observer are here. There's no way those Banshees can push this area, but they have long gone by this point. Several Phoenixes out now patrolling the map. My opponent has continued to build up, wow, even more Banshees. He's getting a Viking as well, which will help him maintain air superiority, or fight me for it at least. He's getting an additional barracks, and his expansion up here is, well, not looking too saturated either. This is kind of a mistake. It seems like he probably built 5 SCVs and then forgot to queue up more, so that's unfortunate for Rojon here. But that said, I'm continuing to get more harvesters. It's a fairly close resource game right now. Well, no, not really. I mean, I still have more probes, and for some reason I have a lot more crystal income. And gas. Not sure why I have such better income than him. Maybe it's just it must be from sheer availability of mineral fields. In any case, my mothership is out. The nerfed mothership, which moves slower and has less hit points and does less damage, I think it does less damage. But I am sending it over here. Oh, you know what? I'm going to back this up just a moment because I missed something cool, so I'm backing it up 14 seconds. So here we go. I built a warp prism, deployed it here. I'm able to warp units directly into its power field. So it exerts a pylon-like power field, and I'm able to send these Stalkers right here. And so now the mothership, 4 Stalkers, and a couple Phoenixes are going to be able to come here. I got detectors too. I got my observers, just in case he tries to attack here. He has quite a large air force, but nothing I would be too worried about right now, to be honest. Almost all of my units are anti-air units, and basically going to take this down without too much trouble. Let's see. So yeah, Rojon's kind of hanging in his base right now. Okay, there we go. 4 Vikings right now. That's pretty good. That's a start. But he's going to need some way to kill the hordes of Stalkers I've got. To be honest, I think that this is, at this point the game looks pretty lopsided, I would say, just because I've got so many anti-air units and my opponent is struggling to get out. He's got an air force, but, it's countered. In any case, looks like he built another command center, maybe hopes of retaking this position, but he's just not pushing out against me right now, which seems like a mistake. If you're down to 1 base and you've got units, I would say push out and try to do something with it, but instead I've managed to successfully raid away the entire island expansion. It's gone, and keeping my natural up. Continuing to mass units. Let's check the army counts right now, or actually, let's see. Well, so there's the straight unit counts. I mean, 27 stalkers on the field for me. Good luck with an air force. With that, I mean, if there's one thing stalkers are good at, it's anti-air. At least as far as ground units can go. But I wanted to see army. Here we go. So here's the mineral value, or the mineral and gas values of the army. The army's in play, and so I just have a lot more forces right now than he does. But here comes an aerial attack. A bunch of cloaked banshees heading in. He's got the Vikings for support. Sending in my phoenixes, losing a bunch of them, losing one of them right off the bat to focus fire. Continuing to lose them. Here comes the mothership, though. The Vikings do a very good job of dealing damage to the mothership, but not when you've got that many stalkers in play that they can just sit there and I mean, that's just, you can't bring an air force in there. And I have carriers too, and cloaked units. I've taken out his detector as well, which will make it very hard to fight the mothership. In fact, that may have been the deciding factor in that engagement there, was that he realized that he couldn't even target my ground units with his banshees. And decided to therefore pull out rather than fight my whole massed force with just a couple units. I'm putting down another expansion, starting to mine at a distance because my main is out. My opponent's main is also almost out at this point. The income for both players is kind of equalized because of this, but I am placing an expansion at the mineral-rich field. Here comes the Cloaked Banshees, however, to take this out just as it's going up. So that's, again, failing to protect my third expansion here, and that's going down. He's also going to scout my my mineral-rich expansion. He's going to take that out, but okay, meanwhile I've missed all of the action, so let me back this up just a little bit, and we'll get this. So yeah, here we go. So backing up 30 seconds, as he sends his forces here on the minimap to hit my third expansion, I'm sending my mothership across. I'm going to use its new ability, its new old ability, Recall, moving my mothership just over this part of his base. I'm going to take a little bit of fire from missile towers and from those massed Vikings, but it doesn't take very long for me to recall in all those forces. I try to pull the mothership back, but it does go down. Vikings are very good at that. But now we've got a massive number of stalkers versus, well, Marines and Vikings and a couple siege tanks in the back. I noticed that these siege tanks are hurting my stalkers a lot, so I blinked them in there, focus fire down the siege tanks. The Zealots are in the front, taking out the ground forces, and now it's just some Vikings in the air, which he hasn't even bothered to land. They're getting taken out. I did bring in my Warp Prism as well, which I'm now summoning in new units straight into the battlefield. He tries to bring his Banshee force in, but well, he's actually going to be able to take out a good number of stalkers here. I do have detection. I decided to warp in more Zealots because I saw, geez, there's a lot of Marines and stuff here, so why not get some more Zealots? But now I'm kind of paying for it because here I am with an army that can't even shoot air. Trying to bring in more stalkers, but they're getting taken out immediately. And so my attack has managed to disrupt his base quite a bit, but it does seem like my units are getting cleaned up a bit here. That said, I have reinforcements. Carriers have arrived. These three are going to come across the map, and this should clean things up for me pretty nicely here. We'll see, though. That number of massed Banshees is pretty effective. The carrier is pretty much immediately taking out that Viking. 2 Banshees go pop. I did research and there we go, my opponent has left the game. So, I guess that is a good game from him. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed the game. The last thing I was saying there was that I did research the Graviton catapults. I think that's what they're called for carriers, which make their interceptors launch fast, which I really like as an upgrade. One of the nasty things about carriers in Starcraft 1 was that it felt sometimes like it would take a while to get interceptor, flights to launch. But with the Graviton catapults upgrade, carriers have pretty good burst damage. You can see those interceptors streaming out of the carrier there to initiate the attack on that Banshee. Okay, well, I hope you enjoyed this replay, and Volty signing out.